Seems like kind of a snobby, unrealistic way to raise your children." I felt my forehead wrinkle. I had always figured that I would spend my summers at the beach like my family had, raise my children on this same strip of sand that had raised me. I guess it isn't the real world, but I think it's amazing to get to have this time that's so carefree. Before I could elaborate, I felt a finger on my shoulder. I turned my head and hoped that my gasp wasn't audible. I hadn't laid eyes on Holden Culpepper since the night I stormed out of his car more than a year earlier. In that instant, our entire past flashed before me like the building was collapsing and I knew I was trapped. That completely forgettable face, with the mousy brown hair that was thick but somehow fell short of luscious or beautiful, was peering at me. It was like looking at a man come back from the dead. I couldn't remember the last time I'd even thought about him. Oddly, the first thing he said to me, before we could even exchange hellos, was, "Do you remember the night we met?" I backed up nearly imperceptibly, afraid of where the conversation was going. But I remembered anyway. I was a freshman, and he was a senior, when I spotted Holden alone in the corner of a crowded fraternity house, music blaring, strobes flashing, and smoke of every imaginable kind mingling through the orgy of dancers. "That's Holden Culpepper," my big sister in the sorority had whispered, stumbling on grass-stained 5-inch heels. She was one of those girls that bleached her hair so the dark roots always showed through. The kind of girl that you knew would still be smoking a pack a day, stumbling drunk down the sidewalk at 40 while ruminating loudly that she hadn't found a husband up to her impossible standards. "You know, his dad's the Culpepper Fund." Then she leaned in closer and, with her thick breath, said, "Apparently, Holden's worth $5 million already, and he's only 21. Casey would have been going after Holden herself, but she was already taken. She was dating her fraternity president cocaine dealer, Jack, who was tall, dark, handsome, and one hell of a dancer. "I like a self-made man," she used to say.